Yeah, bless up my people. Yeah, man. Welcome to Fire Chat. This is Agent Shippy, otherwise known as Johnny Christian. Yeah, man. I hope everybody's okay. Just want to talk a little bit about my journey. As I said in my early video, that I was born in Westmoreland, Salomon. Where I grew up as a young man. As I said earlier, our parents didn't have much. So I, when it come to schooling, I didn't do much because I didn't have the support from my parents to really help me in school. So is that you have to cut out a pathway for yourself, When I was 11 years old, I started, hustle for myself. I tried to go back to school, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. So, I just have to go hustle for myself. But when I was like 16 years old, my brother and sister, they live in the city. So my brother come and get me. I was like 16-year-old. And, as a young man in the city, there's a living downtown Kingston, you have to make choices, because there's a lot of voices in your head, Some people, pull it that way, some want to pull it up the other way. So you have to make choices for yourself, which way you want to go, And as a young man, I was doing a business, a little business downtown. My sister helped me to start a little business, and I was doing a business and Duke Street and Sutton Street corner, we have my little business and stuff like that, And I come in contact with a lot of people, the good, the bad, and the indifference, And you have to stay focused, and depends on how you want to carve out your life, because you on a pathway where as a teenager, where you're hearing a lot of voices and you have to learn to make good choices. There was a lot of young men that even come in my pathway that now I have to nurture as even a young man too, help them to make good decision. There's a lot of guys who want to go in the music business. I was part of it too, and I even have to try and feed a lot of them. I'm telling you, that's why I know I'm being a blessed man even today, because of the way the decision that I made. And I know on my journey, I make a lot of mistakes. I learn from most of my mistakes. Some, it take me a time before I really adjust and know that, I shouldn't go back that pathway again. But most of my mistake I learn, and as I, grow up and start to have children, and as I teach them to, learn from my mistake. That means you don't have to make my mistake and your mistake. In life, we all gonna make mistake. But when you learn from other mistake, you don't have to bear that burden anymore. So, because, yeah, as I say, we all learn from each other. We all grow together, you know. Yeah, and my pathway, as I say, I have to make good decision as a young man, growing up in Jamaica. Either you want to go the bad way, or you want to, carve out a pathway where it's going to be life better for yourself and your family. Because choices in life, we all have to make choices. And when you make choices, the choices that you make is not just for you at the moment, but it's for for generation. Because the choices that you make, it also affect your children and your children, and that's why in life, when you see a mother have like children for different men, and you see the daughter grow up and do the same, you see the son, behave certain way because of how he sees his father behave. Those are choices that affect generation. So in life, we have to assess, our choices that we make, and know that the choices that we make not only affect us, but it affect our generation. And living in Kingston, as a teenager, you have to have your head and your body, as they say, and make good choices for your family. Yeah, man. So bless up my people. This is a part of my journey.
Before I was conceived in my mother's womb, you know me. You have a plan and purpose for my life. You show me.